Okay, so here's another little issue that we're having with this, and that is that Elon Musk is basically trying to form a defense prior to court proceedings that has to do with him trying to throw a bunch of accusations at me on the Starship with a bunch of other famous people, talking about how like I'm guilty simply because he wants to accuse me of being guilty with all these different setups they try to do on the Starship, and one of them is like a sex setup that they do. So the sex setup that they do is they link you into the quantum, I think it might be the quantum computer, and they'll try to do these real-time sex like links with you, and it's end user to end user. And this is not an unusual thing because you can already see into the future that they'd probably try something like this anyways with the proliferation of nanotech, and proliferation of nanotech and end user sort of ideations that have come about. This has actually been mentioned prior to them even talking about it by other people, so it's not all that unusual that something like this would pop up. And so anyways, these guys, they think they can avoid these prosecutions, and they're into, they'll talk about like, okay, we're into fucking people over, we're into society like fucking people over. So for us, it is, it's all about like screwing these guys over and taking their stuff. So for them, exactly what they're doing is like right now they're taking the nano out of my throat. That's why my throat's getting hoarse. And you think it's ridiculous, but they're moving nanotech out of my body because I'm making a bunch of videos. They're basically trying to time everything. It's not really going to work out that way. So they've been messing a lot with my my voice box. They've been trying to fuck around with my voice box using nanotech, and a lot of people don't see these issues as being something that these issues seem ridiculous, and everyone's going to turn around and say, oh, well, you're just a conspiracy theorist, or you just think these ridiculous thoughts, and it's a flight of fancy, and none of it actually makes any sense whatsoever. In fact, this is not what's going on. I wouldn't just come up with this stuff out of the blue and just simply say it just to say it. And I have been on the networks enough to know the difference. I do know how the culture is up there with the 1%, and yeah, I know about these different things. I know how the societies are. I know about these different things that are kind of hidden from plain public view that other people have interest in. And here's the funny part: you can't really go against that in any sense because people talk about this already amongst the public. So there's people, you can go into just a regular restaurant, you can have people talking about this and how the societies are up there, like the various societies that exist. So this is not something that is implicit to what I'm mentioning specifically in my own right. These are things that other people talk about on their own. So on social media, you can go on videos, you can type in Illuminate, or you can type in 1%, and you can pull up these videos of these people talking about different societies of like the wealthy cultures, and how they apply to any given this or that. And these videos, they'll get millions of hits. And so look, I'm one guy talking about a certain thing, and I actually have a reason to talk about it. So other people up here are talking about how, hey, stay true to something. Well, on the other end, it's like, hey, well, I actually went through a set of events where I can mention something. I have the practicality, I have all the ideations or all the facts in mind, and I know how the set of events played out without having any sort of lost momentum. So I have created a fairly large body of evidence now on this, and this is over several accounts. This is Twitter accounts. The first one was my Pentagram account, and the other one now is Galaviz Ryan, which is at Galaviz was GALAVIZ _Ryan RYN. And this is my Twitter account that I'm using to sort of expose what some of these guys are doing, because I feel like the tech billionaires, it's not just I feel, I have the facts to prove it, because these guys have blocked out these accounts and tried to block out these accounts as much as they possibly can, especially surrounding Daisy Isabel Jazz Ridley. So it's extremely suspicious because they do not want me to come into contact or meet this girl, which is literally impossible. All I have to do is spread this information around enough. But it's extremely suspicious that you have these individuals who try to their whole belief is predicated on fucking the next guy over. So I'm not really about that. I'm about doing good business, and these guys are not. They don't know how to do this, and they try to steal a lot of things from me, including intellectual property, which is very easy to get back. One of the main things that they've really done that really pisses me off is that they've gone around and raped all these famous women. They showed this to me in my head, and they showed me like naked scenes from famous women. They showed me Daisy Isabel Jazz Ridley with like a bunch of like nasty they did like point of view, and Elon was like sit back, and they're like, okay, well, this is Elon's going to take this from you, or Elon's going to take that from you. And then they're like, okay, well, you know, Elon's gonna have your girlfriend, and then the guy will turn around and be like, douchebag. And then I'll actually see Elon Musk's face up there and it'll move. But then when I picture Elon Musk's face, or I try to show Elon Musk's face to Daisy Ridley as I'm doing the messages over the real-time, like the real-time service sort of thing. By the way, the sexual function thing isn't really activated for me up there, so I don't do that. So you can't really accuse me of any statutory rape charges using the real-time function, which I've actually brought up before. And this was one of the things that I was talking about explicitly at first. And then now it's changing to something different, where they're trying all these different setups to try to hide themselves, and really it's not going to work, because I'm going to point out every single one of them. I'm going to define them very clearly. I'm going to tell you what they are. So, and everyone else will know. Like, this information will pass around Hollywood. So these guys are trying this, and it's just utterly fucking ridiculous that they even go about this and try to get away with this, because they've given me too many points of evidence. One of the main things, the blocking and the censorship. You censor a post that has nothing to do with any violent anything, and it's going to be extremely suspicious, especially when I'm talking about an artifact that I found in my head, and you're censoring it. I wonder what that's about. Or I'm talking about having a psychic connection with Daisy Isabel Jazz Ridley, and you censor it. That's just not gonna fly. And that girl's not gonna turn around and have all that stuff censored, because then if I challenge her or say anything, you know, I already know what the fuck's gonna happen. So this isn't Daisy doing this. This is a bunch of people trying to keep Daisy from me, and somebody ran around doing a little campaign trying to convince everyone that it's a better idea to keep Daisy from me than having her come towards me. Well, guess what? A lot more people are going to get a lot more people will get in trouble by trying to keep Daisy away from me versus trying to push Daisy towards me. And the reason being, penalty of perjury.